This is Angela Rowland here on June 22nd. I'm sitting with Dr. Jeffrey Howard from Atlanta, Georgia. Jeffrey, if you would for us, based on what you know about medical marijuana facilities, tell us what you think it's going to do for the city of Cotton Plant.
I think medical marijuana has come on the scene and offered a lot of clinical benefit, particularly in the medical arena in terms of palliative care. There have been studies and clinical trials to show that it actually improves people with chronic illnesses, Alzheimer's, some chronic cognitive issues, helps with pain relief and serves as adjunct to our traditional medicine and maybe alternative to our opioid epidemic. So I do think there's much benefit in the medical arena, and I think that we are adopting as a country this as an adjunct treatment to a lot of chronic illnesses and getting a lot of benefit for many of our patients. I do think that it is definitely revolutionary for a community like Cotton Plant. The Cotton Plant story is one of many across the country. Small towns are kind of drying up because of the industry. People are leaving in mass numbers to get to the big cities where the jobs and other opportunities are. So I think this affords small towns a source of income and a nidus to spark other businesses to come into the community. I think it's revolutionary. Federal dollars are drying up each year to be diverted towards small towns and their general success. So I do think that it serves as a cash crop, if you will, to spark a lot of industry. So I do think that it would be revolutionary for Cotton Plant. It would give many jobs here. Then I think it afford a lot of opportunities and more to come.
Absolutely. The one thing I want you to share with us, you're actually in Cotton Plant this week, and this is for Vocational Bible School, and our little ones absolutely love to participate in your program. Tell me a little bit about what you guys do and have done for this week.
Well, what we are trying to do is instill biblical foundation and biblical principles in our children here. A lot of things may not be taught as much as they need to be taught at home. We're here to talk about principles of discipline. Our topics for this week were building a stronger community, building a stronger church, building a stronger family, building stronger self. So we kind of instill to the children a sense of self-respect through Christian principles and Christian values, and want to get them involved in their community. So I do think that it helps to see people giving back to the community, which I've tried to do, and hopefully that energy will be transmitted to other people who have left and gone on to achieve some degree of success, as you will, whatever that definition is, and give back whatever talents they may have.
And I'm sure the mayor would echo my sentiments to you. Thank you so much for coming into Cotton Plant third weekend of June, putting on this VBS. And we know that a lot of your dollars go into this program. We understand that. So thank you so much. And this is from Angela Rowland, Cotton Plant Area Chamber of Commerce President. Thank you. I'm here standing at the old Cotton Plant Elementary School. The school closed in 2013-14 school term. And I'm here with Miss Tamika Hardy. Tamika, if you would, tell us how you feel about a new business coming into town that may bring some jobs.
I'm all for it. I feel like that maybe it'll help Cotton Plant. There's no jobs here. Half of the adults here can't get jobs because everybody doesn't have transportation to get back and forth to work. There's nothing for kids to do here. It's summertime. Our kids have nothing to do. I just feel like it'll be a good thing for them to bring jobs here, to bring Cotton Plant back. Maybe people will start moving back to Cotton Plant if there's something here for them to move back for.
This is Angela Rowland, Chamber of Commerce President, and I'm sitting here this morning with
Lavera Carol Glass.
Miss Lavera. If you would tell us what you think about the medical marijuana facility coming to Cotton Plant, and if you think the citizens should have a concern with crime. We know that's been a rumor around Cotton Plant, so just give me your take on the medical marijuana plant that's coming to Cotton Plant and any concerns that you may have heard from citizens or that you may have yourself.
Well, I'm all for the marijuana plant coming to Cotton Plant. I feel like it's revenue to get Cotton Plant back to where we used to be. Not saying that we will get back there in a year's time. It's a starter though. If we get the plant here, it will bring more people, it will bring the population back to where it used to be. We may be able to get our school back. I've grown up in Cotton Plant. I've been here 27 years, and I've watched Cotton Plant vanish. And I'm all for Cotton Plant coming back. As far as the crime rate, crime is anywhere. No matter how big or small the place is, there's going to be crime. There's one thing you can't do is control what's going on in a person's mind, so you can't tell when the crime is going to happen. But we can get more law enforcement to help keep the crime rate down, or to stop the crime rate from happening so much. As far as the rumors, I haven't heard any. I'm a loner, so I'm just all for the positive things. If it's going to help the city, I'm for it.
I'm here on this lovely afternoon visiting with Martha Fisk. Martha, if you would, share a little bit about the business that your father had in town and the impact that it made on the community, and then just a little bit about your mother that worked at the school system in Cotton Plant.
Well, my father had and owned and ran the only liquor store in town for 30 years or better. When he first came in, well, when the mill shut down, Daddy worked at the mill. He was the foreman there. He ran the mill. He worked with all these old timers, shall I say, what they were. They'd come and gone. Some of them are still here. But he worked the mill, and people knew him, and he knew people. He never forgot anybody. You go into the liquor store, and once he bought that and was running it, you always caught him singing and carrying on with other people. He gave jobs to a lot of these folks that didn't have a job. Truck come in, he needed it unloaded. He just snapped his fingers, and there'd be 2 or 3 guys there to unload that truck. He didn't have to pick up a thing, never put his finger on anything. Sometimes he raised his voice once in a while, make sure you put it where it's supposed to be. But he would give you jobs to do. He'd tell you what he thought about it. He helped to keep things going around here to a point. He was good friends with a lot of these folks. My mother, bless her heart, she worked at the school as a secretary to Mr. Babs and a few others that I can't even remember right offhand. But she worked there for over 15, maybe 20 years before she became ill and had to retire. There's not a child around here that doesn't remember my mother and all the good things she has done for them to send them on the road to better jobs. Now, Mose Kelly, he worked here, lived here, him and his family. And right now, he has a son that is a heart doctor. So you can see, living in this small town, you can still become giant, whatever you want to be. Then this marijuana plant coming in, it's going to provide more diplomas and more education and more chances for our younger children here to get out and go to college and to be something more than the streetwalkers around here that we have, if I can say that. And they're going to go far. We have smart children. It takes a genius to work these computers these days, and these kids can work them from one end to the other. And there's a lot more to it than just working a computer. I guarantee you, I've got a son that's got ADHD, one of my grandsons does, but he is smart. You give him a box of Legos, he'll build you anything you want. So I figure in time, he'll be a master carpenter once he gets into college, into higher grades where you can get into the carpentry and blueprinting and things like that make you a master carpenter. And it's due to this plant here that's going to help him do that. His mom and dad don't have money for college, but getting a grant or whatever else, a loan, whatever it takes from these marijuana plants, it's going to send a lot of kids to school.
Yeah, and the thing we're excited about is that this is a private business that's willing to come into Cotton Plant and spend their dollars
Yes.
to make this happen, to provide a few jobs. And
Yes.
we're looking for this ripple effect that it's going to
Right.
have to where some more businesses will come into town. Now, the one question I want to ask you, because you've been living here all your life,
Yes, I've been
so
living
there
here
must be a
68.
deep love that you have for this community.
Oh, yes.
So why do you love Cotton Plant so?
Because it's a peaceful community here. People know one another. I've been knowing my neighbor next door since I moved in here. My father bought me this house, bring me in out of the country. Now, I was in the country when my husband passed, so I lived here and know my neighbors. I know their kids. I've known a lot of them the Butlers that live up on the corner, they've been here longer than I have. I've known them since I came into town in '68. They're really good friends. It's just a good, quiet, safe place I can raise my grandchildren and not have to worry about it. We don't worry about drive-thrus and shootings and whatever. My kids can get out and chase fireflies and climb trees and have picnics, and we have a good time doing it.
All right, I'm here with Rodney Baldwin. He's water superintendent for the city of Cotton Plant. Rodney, if you would, share with me some of the impacts you think would happen as a result of this medical marijuana facility coming into town, and then some of the changes that we can see.
Okay, first of all, there are some upgrades that we needed done to our water system pertaining to the tank, a SCADA system which provides us accurate information of how much water is in the tank, allows us to keep a good pressure, good water for the residents, and without that SCADA system it's a lot harder to do. We work off of using a pressure control and then a timer, and all that allows us to do is continuously time the water as it's being pumped, and hopefully gauge that time as to giving us enough water in the tank to provide pressure for the system. Pressure for the system is controlled with a pressure controller, and it allows me to know when the well needs to run and the outsource pump needs to run. So it will make a large change for the system and all. It'll help the customers, the people that live here in town.
This is the site of the where the medical marijuana was selected from the Bold Team LLC. Now that it's been cleared by the Supreme Court, I'm sure that they'll be getting started here real soon. We're elated that the organization Bold Team selected the site because it's inside our city limits, and it's going to provide a tremendous amount of revenue for this city. And I think it's going to be a drawing card for a lot of more industries to come into our industrial site here. Also, we feel like it's going to be really the starting point for growth for this community.